The views expressed on Talk Real Solutions, hosted by Tyrone Thompson at talkrealsolutions.com, are the views of Tyrone Thompson and do not reflect the views of talkrealsolutions.com, YouTube, or etc. The content here belongs to Talk Real Solutions and its many contributors. Views and opinions expressed by all contributors belong to them and not talkrealsolutions.com or Tyrone Thompson, the host, or etc. All data and information provided on the site is for informational purposes only. Talk Real Solutions makes no representations as to accuracy, completeness, correctness, suitability, or validity of any information on this site and will not be liable for any errors, omissions, or delays in this information or any losses, injuries, or damages arising from its display or use. All information is provided on an as-is basis.
In a world where there's crime, violence, corruption, violence, murder, rape, theft, and all forms of atrocities that plague the world in which we live in today, what you're witnessing, we are living in a state of chaos, and it'll take greater or extreme chaos to restore order in which the world we live in today. Good evening. Welcome. Hello, people. This is Chaos here. And, okay, what's this I'm seeing here? Oh, I'm seeing a lot of talks about what's going on in New York, big moves, but anyhow. I'm just checking some things right now, guys. For those that want to follow the Chaos Rain Show, you know where to find me. You can find me on social media and also on YouTube. So, yeah. Also, well, I'm gonna give the links. I'm just gonna get straight to the point. I've talked about the homosexual agenda for God as long as I could remember. And the funny thing about all this, right? Like literally, is that I've said this for the last maybe year or two, for a while now, and I'm convinced myself and anyone that doesn't want to believe me. When I had Dawan when he was still alive, and he now is no longer here, and he's been gone now almost a year and a half now, right? Is Darwin did not really warn everybody about this. I've knew that a while. There were many books talk about the so-called the homosexual agenda, right? And the weirdest thing about all this, right, is that when people are shocked and surprised like they are now, I'm not shocked and surprised. And if y'all don't know, y'all don't know now. And, it's hard for me to really say this or really talk about this, but and as you guys watching, please hit the like button. And normally I don't do much content like I used to do over here on this platform for a reason. Okay. Oh damn, Tara got CRS Harris Present. God damn, I swear, black folks, man. One thing I tell you, one thing about us Negroes, if you're racist, we are going to stay far away from you. The saying goes, black people like their racist, like how they like their they like they like racists how they like everything else. Quiet, silent, and not in your face. Yeah. Yeah. So, really, truly, and I mean really, truly, um, with P Diddy, right? Okay, that's what we're gonna talk about today, right? And one thing with P Diddy, or they call him Diddler now, or everyone wants to say. And as you know, this subject is dealing with the love of P Diddy. I've noticed a few, not a lot, but a good number of content creators, to my understanding, said that we should not waste too much time, invest too much time on what PD does, or of his recent now uh, custody and put into jail or confined prison until he gets an actual sentence, which that's gonna happen in no greater than a couple months. And why I mean a couple months? Because if you think about it, these trials don't last. If they plot, if he's going to fight this, it does not prolong for like almost 2 years at best, because it's a federal trial. You're going to see no greater than 6 or 8 months from now, maybe 6. And reason why, because with the feds, they usually, when they really crack down and take you in, they got all the evidence they need to really prosecute completely in the highest level, because they're very calculated, like Goodry, you know. So P Diddy, and one thing, because I've noticed when I was playing that song from Cartel, Live's Cartel, about No Man, and he goes real deep about the homosexual agenda also. And as you know, he says reference a verse from the Bible, Leviticus 20, verse 13. Is it refer, referring to homosexuality? Leviticus. All right. Let's see what pops up.
Yes, Leviticus 20:13 is commonly interpreted as a verse referring to homosexuality. The verse states, "If a man lies with a male as with a woman, both of them have committed an abomination, shall surely be put to death. Their blood is upon them." ESV. This verse is part of the Holiness Code in Leviticus, which contains various laws given to the Israelites concerning ritual purity, moral conduct, and community standards. Many traditional interpretations of this verse see it as a prohibition against same-sex relations between men. However, the interpretation and application of this verse have been the subject of much debate in modern times. Some religious and scholarly interpretations understand the verse in its historical and cultural context, suggesting it was part of broader purity laws specific to ancient Israel. Others believe it speaks to broader moral or ethical concerns. In contemporary society, interpretations vary widely depending on theological perspectives, with many progressive Christian and Jewish groups advocating for LGBTQ+ inclusion, while others maintain a traditional view based on verses like this.
Okay. That was good. I didn't think it was going to play, but played out. So, yes, it does. And they talk about Israelites and all that, special words and all that nonsense, right? But the point is this, man should never lie. If a man lies with a male as with a woman, both of them have committed the abomination, and they shall be surely put to death. And one thing, the funny thing with that verse, and I believe that was the Old Testament at the time. Now, think about this. A lot of people today, right, they still follow religion or not, there's a certain message or stories that hold weight to the hearts of many people for whatever reason. But we always question, okay, if these were old stories or stories that happened back in time, right? How this affects people today? Now, right, society has created an environment where it's not only nice or cool to do this, but they push it away where they teach you and they will reward you depending on the severity of this act. Now, my biggest concern about all this, right? And as you guys listen, please hit the like button. My biggest concern about all this, right, is the biasness, the craziness. Now, I'm not sure if they really get mad because he's screwing women of any age, rather in one hold or many holds. I don't know what's the story, but okay. Or really, truly, it's just that he's downright a bad, evil man because they just don't like Puff Daddy. Either or, he is a man, a degenerate, like most entertainers, artists, celebrities that amongst society, which society is degenerate, do perverse, degenerate things. Now we could talk about the morality of people, and people should be moral and hold moral code. To me, I would say, fuck that shit. Don't be moral. Be just. If you play the morality game in this weirdo society we live in, you're losing. You're gonna lose. Now, does this give you the excuse to become a degenerate? No. But don't play under somebody else's rules that they're not fair to play the same rules. Now, with P. Diddy, right now, as it states, right, a lot of information is coming out. More women are feeling comfortable to get their knobs onto his little wallet, wherever money he has left. Because let's be honest, after all is said and done, they're gonna liquidate this man like heavily. You might get some if you're a woman that was a so-called alleged victim, which I don't believe that. I think everybody participate in their own free will. The only time you could be a victim right now, as I see as a man personally, you're going to be after under the age of 15. Anything beyond that, and you got parents and they just snuck you by to these weirdos, it's on your parents and potentially you too, maybe. Because that's the only way I could really justify really saying, okay, you have a leg to stand. When I hear these women, these are like adults. Now, mind you, if this man really took the booty and the pussy from you, the best thing you could do is have, and I always say be proactive in anything else. You must have a paper trail. What I mean, listen good. Anytime that happens to you, one or two things should happen after this encounter. You go to your nearest police. You can file a report immediately after the act. And second, you must go straight to the hospital. Now, I had a conversation with my good friend, Mr. Brown, which Mr. Brown, Amiri, is running for higher office. So, vote for the brother. We had stories about this, and me and him had a conversation with, and one thing he said, if he had a situation with his own children, right, where one of them are going to engage in something, right, violence, right, or wherever his family side is going to be have problems, he always said the first thing you do is you go straight to those people, because what it does is you already initiate a form of how can I say it? Yeah, paper trail. Meaning you got something that's on paper and dated what happened to you. So that way, if anything that will probably use that will be a weapon against you, you have the information already here laid out ready. That will be in your favor. And a lot of people don't do this. A lot of women don't do this. A lot of people don't never do this. For whatever reason, I think why they don't do this because one, fear comes to play, and the other, they just feel it's not that important. They feel that by just holding it in, keeping it balled in for years and decades, that may one day their window opportunity will present themselves where they can go and now confront and collect. And to me, I find that to be wrong. You should not be in a business where you have to wait years and decades just for a check. You should be doing this for the protection not only for yourself, but the protection for the next woman that might be falling victim. That's my thinking. You do this to protect the next one that will be next victim besides you. If not, in my opinion, you're selfish. Now I know this is not gonna be an easy conversation, but I gotta keep real with y'all. Not only this applies to ladies, but also applies to gentlemen. If you're not go out there and you're gonna beat this bastard's butt or do something else, if he violates you in that highest form, then by all means your manhood has been taken from you. And the forever days of your life, you gonna live and walk amongst the earth as a sugar bandit, a booty bandit. We all know the stories of those men that actually almost had intercourse with a same sex person that is in the train level, and we all know how that turned out. And usually, that is usually what will normally happen when you've been lied to, and that's the only way you're gonna get or reclaim back your manhood. You know, by letting things slide and all that dumb stuff, you just solidify your conquer between or in between your cheeks. A lot of these celebrities that have gone to these parties and have been getting their cheeks clapped, especially males. Yes, they have. Yes, that is true. Ray J, obviously, he got his cheek claps. I remember one story with Ray J, especially, and I might cover him in a future stream about him and his, I guess, wife. Um, what's his wife's name? I don't know if it was Precious. I forgot what his wife's name. Ray J's wife is Let me look up what her goddamn name is. Hold on. Let me check her name out. Hold on. I forgot her name now. Let's see. What is her name? Hold on. Yeah, I think her name is Precious. Could be wrong. All right. All right. I'm scrolling up now. Let's see if I can find it. All right. I'm not gonna waste time. But you know who I'm talking about. She of all people, right? These two been battling back and forth for years now. And personally, it got to the point where it got violent, and I guess Ray J had to put hands on her. And this is my thing, and we all know judgment. If a woman is at the point where she has to resort to physicality towards you as a man, and you cannot give the same punishment if you choose to, it's better off you cut ties and move on. Don't stay in these relationships, especially in this Western society, because they're always going to take the favor of the before you. Literally. So one thing you can do is you gotta vote with your feet. You need to leave that situation alone and get out fast and fast. Now a lot of people say, "Oh, what about the kids?" Man, screw that. Because the minute you put your hands on her, yeah, oh yeah. So that's the one thing I would say. You know. So let me check. All right, I'm just looking at some right now, guys. I'm trying to find. Okay. Okay, I see somebody in the chat room. Get some sounds up. Yeah. The volume is as high as it's going to get. So, P. Diddy, and I've heard about this lady named Miss Wright. I think that's her name, Miss Wright. And she's a very interesting woman. And I very much question, like, literally, I question, this is just me, guys. This woman has been saying a lot of things about the underworld of music artists, entertainers, etc. And my biggest question How's she still alive after saying and revealing all this information for God? How long? As long as she's been open her mouth. That's my biggest question. Because you're revealing a lot of information and you're still around. Before all this started to crash down on your top music moguls, this has been going around for a while. Now I'm not saying she told you so. This, my thing is this: that why do a lot of men and women, especially black in this community, worship these celebrities to the point that we already know something was foul about them for a long time. We have a feeling about it, but we still listen to their material and we still worship and idolize them to the point we still follow them. Oh, and a side note, Jay Z is actually gonna be next. And one thing with because all this start to come down, crash now, a lot of Jay Z and Beyonce as well, because they're a married couple, they start losing followers in the millions. Not a lot because if you look at their social media, it's very big, you know. So losing 2, 3, or even 4 million ain't really nothing personally. It is a bucket in the water. So hmm, wait, hold on, let me just check some guys. Hold on. All right. So really and truly, that P Diddy, and here's the fun thing about him. A lot of people were very much took in a back seat when they see and said when they raided his homes, they found like thousands upon thousands upon thousands of baby oil lined up. And we all know that's not for massaging purpose. That's for, used to enter another man's backside, you know, roughly. Because they need a lube for interaction that will be very sickening. And, the funny thing with a lot of women, either they say they care or not, when you engage in your own lesbian or homosexual ways, I mean, you can't really complain about the men that's engaged in it. And there's more women that's about that life, mostly lesbians or us, than men, you know. And we could say reason why is by sheer by the numbers, but really that's a choice. Personally, I don't know why they still justifying it, but let's be honest. When people talk about the homosexuality in the community and women complain somewhat about it, they have no right to stand or no leg to stand on because really, when I look at the outcomes, I say, you're not really serious. I mean, think about it. You get everything done by men, especially men that are about that homo life, like glittery. So, you know, and one other thing, I didn't tell y'all this. I do got Kim Porter's book for those that know him, and I have covered it on my channel. Where you guys become a member, probably the highest form of membership on my channel to be able to look into that content. And I'm probably going to do the other half sometime when I get a chance to wrap up that book. And the book or that memoirs is very much telling. It's a point where you find what is it, children? No, you find PD's kids and all that stuff are going out with their own little social media and saying that it's not true, it's not a true book, all that. And they forgot to say Kim Porter already wrote a book or was writing and did not really finish the book she was compiling in regards to in her mind to for leverage to get out of Sean Diddy Combs nips, for lack of better words. So she prepared for this day. Now, even preparing for this day, I mean, regardless of how people think about it, that whoever got a hold of it, they got a hold of that and probably some material that she stored in the cloud. You know. So for those that don't know, I mean, literally, let's keep it real. The cloud is your best friend. You know, for certain scenarios. Is it good for all scenarios? No. but it's very good for certain situations when you find yourself in a very sticky situation. And I don't mean sticky in that way. So yeah. So and here's something. Word on the street is that R. Kelly is gonna start spilling the tea and start to rat out certain pieces as well. He's gonna talk as well. Now he's gonna talk in favor of Puff Daddy. I don't think so, but he sure hell is gonna talk about Jay Z. That's why if you look at Jay Z, and I'm not sure where he's doing, what his status is once one man is down, the rest are gonna be falling. So it's only a matter of time. And a lot of celebrities could do like Russell Simmons do. They can go out the country and save themselves. But let's be real. Are you really safe outside America if you're a black man and you're engaged in the same degeneracy like every other non-black man with profiles? Mm. I'm just saying. Just saying. Hmm. So, oh, and then wait, hold on, let me give you our call number. I didn't see it earlier. Make sure you got like the stream, share the screen. All right, the call number is 717-908-1834. I repeat, 717-908-1834. Access code 917324 pound. Are we talking about the love of Diddy or the dealer, or you want to call him? And really, truly, really, think about this. PD might do some time in jail, and he might do life, no matter how he cooperates with the feds. But I have a feeling that if someone really wanted P Diddy, they would have got him some time ago. Personally, so hmm, I'm just thinking, guys. So, what is next? Well, like I said, Jay Z is next. And one thing with Beyonce, what's kind of Beyonce? Did you know Beyonce also helped destroy a good portion or a lot of the female artists that could have been coming up in the game? Did y'all know that? And this was not something that's speculative. This is something that was going around in the business for decades now. And she plays the same game like her husband does, and that's to take out the competition by any means necessary. That means they got to lie, cheat, steal, or do some other things, which they normally steal more than money. Hmm. So that's that. I'm trying to think what else is on here. I'm trying to figure out. I draw a blank. So yeah, it is what it is. We're back to the Knicks. I'm going to side. I'm gonna continue with the PD. Have y'all noticed the Knicks gotten way better? And since we're talking about New York, since PD is from New York, I mean the city's gonna get even more lit once the sport starts. But that's a great distraction for all those that don't know. What goes on in America goes different outside America. Be wary of that. Hmm. Let's think of something. So, what one can do to avoid the diddlers of the world? Well, one thing you could do is know your rights, know who you are, and stay away from those type of Negroes. Second way is okay. The second best thing to do is to freeze your iPhone. Hmm. Anywho, if no one's gonna call or raise a hand, I might call this one. No. Oh no, I got more time. All right. Let me see if I can find some audio of this stuff. So I'm talking about it. Oh, another thing. The mayor of New York, word on the street is that what was found in those same videotapes or wherever Diddy's cooperating, he's also mentioned as well in this indictment. Or some other indictment that they found something on him to indict him. And he was just involved, heavily involved, really. Think about it. So, what the future holds for PD? What does the future really hold? I mean, because one thing is for sure, when it's all said and done, regardless, PD is going to try to rat all his close friends that, in his mind, betray him. And speaking about betray, we all know that Beyonce and Jay-Z kind of draw a separation from Sean Combs, but forgot to say that you're involved with this just as much as anybody else. Matter of fact, what's her name? Miss Wright said that Jay-Z is just as worse. And matter of fact, let me see if I can find a video of it. 1 second. Let me see if I can find a video of this. Matter of fact, this one probably is much better. And let me see if you guys can hear this. I'm gonna wind it back. All right, this guy's gonna go into this, and let me see if you guys can hear it from this end. All right, I'm gonna test this now. I doubt this will work, but let's cross our fingers. Let's see where it goes. Okay, you guys can hear it. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna use my nice little phone. That's cool. Where is it? Where is it? This is, she said. I'm gonna find out. Ah, here it is. All right, let's listen carefully, guys. Here we go.
He draws in his bedroom, in his bed. You understand, bro? This is that he learned. I'm assuming he learned it from them. Let me put that. And I'm not gonna say alleged because
I'm gonna wind it back. I want y'all to hear this.
Basically a booty clapper. Now, I want you guys to remember. Now, recently, this brother who always comes on Order Dialogue, this guy's name is Gene Deal. He's going to blame a certain individual for why Diddy turned out the way that he did.
Some dudes belong in jail based on what they do. and how they do it. We know that to be true. And it's just this situation, man, when they get down to all the facts and all what happened, he may belong in jail, bro. And that's not my doing. That's not Cassie doing. That's his doing and his learned behavior from the people that mentored him. You got to realize, man, he learned from Andre Harrell. He learned from Russell Simmons. He learned from Clyde Davis. You understand? When those people are telling you that they were heavy into the drugs, they was heavy into beating women and doing things at that age, at that crazy stage, that's going to make him think that he could get away with the same thing that they was getting away with back then. You understand? The things that he was saying, you know, the touchy-feely between two men and all that stuff like that, man. All that, he learned that from them dudes. When I told y'all the story, when me and my man went up to Russell Simmons, and he had a house, and he had a man in bikini drawers in his bedroom, in his bed. You understand? Bro, this is that he learned. I'm assuming he learned it from them. Let me put that. And I'm not going to say alleged because I saw that for my own self. My man was with me, Slick was with me, and we saw that for our own self. You understand what I'm saying? So these are behaviors and things that with drugs and all the stuff that's going on, pills, drinking, it can make this man into a monster, and that's what it did, bro. It made him into a monster, bro. What's happening to him now is one of the greatest tragedies that we're going to ever read about, bro. There's going to be one of the greatest tragedies that Shakespeare couldn't write in Richard. He couldn't write it in Macbeth. He couldn't write this shit in Romeo and Juliet. There's going to be one of the greatest tragedies of hip-hop, along with Pac's death, along with Big's death. And
I have to disagree. This is not one of the greatest tragedies. This is one of the most disgraceful type of this is a disgrace. I'm just gonna be honest with you. Very much a disgrace. And the sad thing about all this, PD Sean Combs hid this. People already assume that he is a booty bandit. He's one of them pogey mans. He's one of them dudes that like to get tinkle in his backside. And we are here supposed to, feel super sorry and even go as far as, have a certain empathy for Mr. Combs. And I get it. I understand. I mean, there's no love over here, but let's keep real. A lot of men, you create your own form of sacrifice at the end of the day. Let's keep it real. Sean Combs is no different. The biggest question you ask yourself, what are you willing to do to be famous? What limits you are willing to take to become rich? Not wealthy, rich, because a lot of black people understand, unless you get your money from the ground up, the old-fashioned way, being either a high advanced attorney, businessman, we could say doctor, but most doctors are good, but not really rich like that. Rich, unfortunately. Your chance of being very much super wealthy or well known or rich is very much skewed and very much capped. Because we all know the story. We hear this constantly, right? Like constantly, right? What are the things that you will not do? Because there is a limit. Oh, another thing I didn't forgot to say. LeBron James loves going to his parties. So as the NBA season starts, he actually it's going to hurt himself. I'll be honest with you. You got to question every man and woman nowadays that reach from multimillionaire to billionaire. Now, because to be billionaires in this society, if you're a black person, you obviously got to be compromised. There's no in between. There's no such thing as out of your way or your genius got you this money. No, you're going to be compromised. The more money you make and the higher you want to go, you're going to have to. They got to have some on you. And one of the things that's the highest form of tagging you is by massaging and pounding your backside as a man. So let's keep playing this. And I think as a season start, NBA season start, and as Laker, I wouldn't try as the fans start booing him and they're gonna start less attend the arena because of LeBron's involvement with Sean P. Combs, especially in his parties. Let's listen more.
Brought it on himself.
Now, if you can remember when Diddy first went down, who was the person defending Diddy so hard?
We can feel up. We have to look inside ourselves and try to look up and be excited about our brother's rise, not his fall. So when you tear someone down, or when you watch someone tear someone down, try not to get so excited. I know it's fun to watch to some people. If I had a nickel for every nasty meme sent to me by...
It all started with a kiss, the day my...
Hold on, guys. Let me get for this stupid commercial. This is one.
She poisoned me. My own brother drove the...
Be mean sent to me by people whose lives were enhanced and built by Sean Combs. Like, I think that hypocritical sense, the only reason you have a life is you worked for him, or he gave you a job and or lifted you up somehow. Watching our brothers fall is hurtful. Having everybody get together and laugh at our brothers fall, or supporting the tearing down of our brothers, it's tough. You may think it's, entertaining. Some of the memes are funny, right? But we have to look up, train our minds to see the good in things and not the negative. It's a quick spark. It's a quick spark. Oh, that's interesting, and that's funny, and then my gut hurts. You ever be around someone who's gossiping and they say, guess what happened to so-and-so? The first thing you say is, what? And then they tell you the story, and you guys think about it, and maybe laugh about it. And then the next time they say, and guess what else happened? And you say, what? And then you're like, drained. You feel sad. You feel sick.
So basically, let me kind of deal with that. Russell Simmons, in this instance, is saying, hey, listen, you guys are hating on the black man when he's down. Why you guys doing that? But in the reality, guys, what Russell Simmons is doing is protecting himself. Because Russell Simmons, and I hate to say this to the brother, it's the reason why he went out there to Bali. Because Indonesia don't have an extradition to the United States. He sold everything and went to Bali. And Russell Simmons was taking cheeks. I honestly believe he did it before. I can't say it all the time, but Russell Simmons got dirt on him. Russell Simmons was taking some cheeks, I think. And he taught Diddy how to take cheeks. Now, Andre Harrell, rest in peace.
All right, enough of that. And there's some restrictions in the law because America. Well, actually, right now the world's not really united yet. We're not as one world yet. Well, we are, but we're not like fully yet. Well, we're almost in that stage that you might be protected outside America because of laws. But imagine everything is one now. There's nowhere where you're gonna run, especially if you're a booty bandit. So he's fine right now where he's at in Bali. But is he fine in the long term? I don't think so. But only time will tell. Anyhow, let me see if you guys want to call it because I think I have nothing else down here. Let's take a look. Let's see. Where is that? What's this? All right, the number to call in, guys. I'll repeat it again for y'all, but 717-908-1834. Access code 917324 pound. All right. So now I'm just looking at some things. Oh, good. All right. Well, I'm almost at the hour mark. I think I could stop here. I got nothing else to add on here, and everybody's silent. And I think a lot of people got tired of this. What's going on with P Diddy, or just people talking about in general. And I get it. I understand. I get tired of it too, guys. Personally, but let's be honest, it's trending, and I think it's going to still have some trend for another week or two, and eventually we're going to have to move on to other things. I mean, there's so much you could push this talking narrative of what's going on with P Diddy. All I know is that he is just a weapon and tool like anything else. And like, if this is what we want to call white supremacy, when they're done with you, they're done with you. They break their tools. Dame Dash, out of all people, said it best. That these gentlemen that's working with these people, that they're not really boss. And I just add that. I don't think Dame Dash would say, but I'm just gonna say it. They're not really boss. They work for somebody. See, Dame, he is actually a boss. Now, a lot of people could think the way it is about him that he's broke and all this stuff. You gotta keep in mind that Dame Dash could have been in the same circle like with these people, but the problem is he's not willing to do what is necessary to get into those deep circles to make the big bucks. Because I think with Dame Dash, he looks at longevity and really stability. And I think he sees the right in the wall. And remember, he's his own boss, and he's not being nobody else's boss. You get me? He never want to be someone else's boss because he knows not is not yours. I think with Sean Combs, he fought Ciroc because he made Ciroc so much money. He thought it was his, or think of it was his. But at the end of the day, the people that he worked for, that he used his face to push their products, it was really a sin for him to really go at them and sue them for millions of dollars because that's one of the dangerous and wrong moves you could make as a man that has not really built up or create something that's yours that is yours alone to worry about. You built somebody else up, and so that means you building them up, making them more rich than you. Hell, you're a billionaire, but if you're a billionaire now, what makes them that made the product Ciroc? They're like multi-billionaire. If I really dig in and count what's the value of Ciroc, which I'm going to do right now for y'all before I call this a close, I think we got an edge here. So, all right, Ciroc. Ciroc. I think that's what it is. All right, let's take a look at this. Ciroc is a brand of alcohol beverage produced in France since 2003. Ciroc is 21 years old now. This only been around for almost a generation now, and I think he was suing them months ago of last year, I believe. So let's look at the value. That's the value, but how much is the net worth of Ciroc? Net worth. Let's take a look. Okay. According to Forbes, Champagne Combs' net worth was $740 million in 2019, with a large portion of his coming from the partnership of Ciroc Vodka. Combs earns an average of $66 million per year from the partnership between 2007 and 2023. Jesus Christ. This man was making serious money with this since 2007. That's 17 years ago. So it makes sense that how he became a billionaire. You're not a billionaire on your own merit. You got that by a partnership with this famous, or you made this drink famous, Ciroc. That's crazy. And I think it's produced by Diego. Oh, I'm just looking at this. What the hell is this? Yeah, I don't know what this is. And Kitty is Waka Capital Morgan Bailey. Revenue 24.8 billion. I think it's worth 28 billion. All right. Jean Sebastian Raquet, founder of Ciroc, France. Where Combs is making $6 million a year with that. On June, Combs, we're not worrying about Combs. We want to know how much Ciroc itself, the brand itself. I'm trying to find the brand itself. How did he make off Ciroc? 60 million he makes yearly. So you do the math. Since 2007 up to 2023, that's where it really ended with Ciroc. So ironically, this ended over a year ago. And Scotch Whitney Ciroc dropped sales 7% when I wear Diego's market cap and shares tank. We can't. Okay, Diego's shares tank. I'm trying to find where is Ciroc. How much Ciroc's worth? Let me see if Wikipedia could tell me how much the net worth of Ciroc. Okay, it came out in 2003, and then PD became partner with Ciroc 4 years later, ironically. As a vodka brandy drink. We ain't gonna drink. I don't think I drink Ciroc. I don't worry about them. I can't find the number for Ciroc. Ain't that something? Maybe I'm not looking the right place. Let me see if the AI could tell me. I thought the AI can give me a conclusion how much the net worth was Ciroc. But it's worth a shot. All right. Let's see if the AI could tell me. All right. It's by Brandy Profile Diego. So it's from Diego. Okay. I don't know what's giving me this. I'll say. Hold on. All right. It's not giving me enough over here. It's just showing the websites by Diego. So that doesn't help me. So it's from Diego. So let me go back to Diego one more time. I'm going to select this. Okay, I just got to find out more about this. Rock Valley. All right, let's see if this is the one. Damn it. Okay, I'm looking at it. I would say this thing's worth maybe over a couple billion. This statistic. Oh, that's statistic. What was it? Let's know this. I wonder how much the worth of. Well, it says billions, so I would say it's worth billions. I can't get an actual number. At the end of the day, PD then became billionaire on his own merit. He worked with a third party, which is a vodka slash alcohol beverage called Ciroc, which he partnered up with in 2007. So really, this was the one that grossed him the most money. Come here, guys. He was not putting out music like that after the 90s. Most of his money he made mostly was on the Ciroc. Yeah, 1.5 billion. 1 billion. Okay. Yeah. Now it said they have Yahoo about he was once the wealthiest mogul. This is surprising. Uh, yeah, his money was made directly from Ciroc. Yeah, yeah, he lost a lot of money because he tried to go at Ciroc. I think Ciroc kind of gift him a little bit, but it's expected, man. It's expected because it's not yours. It was never yours. So them making the moves they did was actually expected. All right, I think that's it, guys. I'm done with this. I hope more y'all hearing y'all reactions in the comment section of this one. But like I said, all comments will be respected, and all comments will be accepted depending on what you want to put out there. But at the end of the day, if you're a man or woman, especially a man, don't give up your booty hole for fame. If you're straight, if you're not straight, I mean, it's not no problem because you're already about that life. Well, if you're a straight heterosexual man, the last thing you want to do is to compromise your morality and your dignity and your health just to make a couple thousands, $1 million. That's all I'm saying. All right, guys. Thank y'all for watching. Until next time, take care and good night.
Open up these goddamn lines, Gary. Goddamn.
Whoa, wait. I'm not ending this. Wait. Why y'all silent? Y'all don't want to sit up after the show? What's going on here? Whoa. Excuse me.
Well, if you want to take questions, you can do that. You want someone to interrupt? I don't know. You were leaving. I just said open up the lines. That's all I said.
No, I was looking. I'm looking at the board. No one raised their hand. And also, wait, Greg, are we not using the same line? Because if you learn open as using the same number, you're not supposed to do that when somebody's on the line. You're supposed to call like a regular caller. Why y'all guys keep doing that?
Nigga, I didn't know you was on the line, so it was too late. Be consistent, and I won't do it.
No, it's no consistent. You tune in and listen to what's going on. You just don't do that. You figure I'm just gonna butt in and just call in just to do that? Come on, guys, be respectful.
I didn't butt in until you said you was gone.
All right. We're not gonna talking about. All right, hey, Greg. All right, let me pick up a line. Somebody raised their hand. All right, Carl, who's this?
Hello? What's going on, Gary?
Yes.
All right, man. Just glad that you're back on. I really, I don't know what to say, man. I mean, it was a lot there, bro, to unpack. I guess we're gonna be seeing where this goes down, down the line, as far as with this case, what solid evidence they do have versus what's hearsay, and how much time the man gets, and who's implicated, and it's a lot, man, going on. You know what I'm saying? And then the mayor too. They saying the mayor though. You see, that's why it's not good to jump to conclusions. There was some disgruntled a worker or somebody that they have put the pressure on working with the feds. That person also was trying to bring down Joe Biden's son. As they're uncovering the information. So, there could have been some mistakes and some bad judgment on the mayor's behalf on how he, made these um, ordeals or what took place. But we're gonna see what happens with that as well. So I'm just waiting to see what happens. You know what I'm saying? Like it's we're in a time where anything could go either direction.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, but at least you
Yeah.
kept the, again, bringing it back, to the platform and having some dialogue and you know, some news
Mm.
out there for people to make their own decisions. You know,
Mhm.
try to figure it out.
Okay. Okay. That's what's up. That's what's up. I think with him, it a lot of people say it's a rap, but let's keep it real. Let's keep it real. Sean Combs is just like any other man in a system that looks at you, scrutinizes you, and keeps a watchful eye on your activity. You get me? And if you ruffle the wrong feathers or ruffle the wrong people, when they're ready to pull the plug, they will pull the plug. You understand me? And that's what we're seeing right now.
Yeah, and it
You know
don't
what I'm saying?
help to have any, uh, uh, you know, a lot of shit in your closet or a lot of dirt. Nobody's perfect. People have shit going on, but to the extent where you could get yourself in trouble where they could destroy your career, that you might want to think
Hmm.
of if you get in a position of money and power. How much money
Hmm.
and power do you really have? And don't stay humble. Don't get too arrogant. You know, because you have money and power, because that could just be taken away quickly. You ain't bigger than the program, as they say, right? You ain't bigger than the government. So, that's why people be arguing. I've heard some stuff yesterday. You know, you could say what you want to say, but you ain't
Hmm.
gonna do a goddamn thing. You're not bigger than the government.
Hmm.
So that's the reality. And unless you're gonna line up a bunch of people that's gonna dominate, the positions of power that's needed for you to be able to do what you want or what's needed. That's just
Hmm.
a lot of talk. So he's one man in this game of entertainment and the high society or people that's in this money. But I'll just say this because I wasn't even gonna say it, but now we're here. Let's not be
Hmm.
surprised that this whole situation with Puff Daddy. Like, there's not people in this world on this planet in the United States, throughout the United States, cities, suburban, that are engaged in swinging parties and all type of wild shit. The thing is, when you break the law, or it's a thing where the law is broken and you get in trouble. So you got to be wise on what you do. That's all. Because there's always law is always waiting to strike. And there's always a person that's watching to try to bring that. So when you're in a spotlight, again, nobody's perfect, but the more dirt that you have, the harder it is to dig it out.
Hmm.
Or
Okay.
dig yourself
Okay.
out. How about that?
Yeah, you're right. Yeah. Well, I hope they dig this out. You know. But like I said, a lot of people say is a rap or not. I said that's not our concern with the rap. The focus is who's now down next in the paper to really start taking back the money. I'm saying that they give them. This is like a purge of alleged billionaires that did not make their money off their own merit. A lot of them were partnering with other non-black groups, and now it's time to collect. If they ruffled and start to get uppity, this is what happens. Cause think about this: they got him on trafficking. They didn't get him on anything else. They got him on sex trafficking. Same thing they got with R. Kelly, the sex trafficking thing, or some that deal with sex, parties, and all this nonsense. And we forgot Hugh Hefner had parties like this for decades. Now, one time they come down on him, but it sure as hell come down on this black man. So,
but that sex trafficking is the sex trafficking law has been here, but it's gotten upgraded, and up to maybe like the early 2000s, mid 2000s, they changed it because we had what you call pimps, and they were traveling cross country, cross state lines, and they were pimping women. They were bringing women from out of state here. I mean, everybody knows this is not a secret. In the 70s and the 80s, even the 90s, was the era where prostitution was pretty much out in the open here in New York. And you would go in Times Square, and there would be women out there prostituting. And there was men out there too prostituting, all type of shit going on in there, right? But we talking about women. Mm-hmm. And there was men that were pimping. Now, it's crazy because in New York City, the tires pretty much, like sportswear, comfortable gear. But you would see on 42nd Street where there was a prostitute, not far from there was a pimp. And you could see by the way he was dressed. He wore that uniform that everybody sees a pimp wearing. A suit, a bright-ass suit. Some of them had canes and shit, and a perm. They stuck out like a sore thumb. Guess what? The police wasn't cracking on them. The feds was not cracking on them. That was not implemented into early 2000s. I believe that's when they started really going in on that. Because, again, state lines, dudes was bringing multiple prostitutes into New York City. There was no sex trafficking. What they was doing. They was called for pimping. I don't even know what the hell was the charge. For pimping, I guess that was the charge. Pimping.
So they pimping the minor or wherever, that they were.
No, not a minor. I'm talking about of age. See what I'm saying? Because trafficking doesn't have to be underage. It just has to be you trafficking a prostitute and then unwillingly. She might be unwillingly. See, that's where things change. And you're also conducting business illegally. Because if you're doing transactions, right, that's considered breaking the law. And since you're doing a transaction across state lines, that goes into a whole different area. Once you cross that line. Yeah.
I gotta take this next call. All right, caller, who's this? Hello?
Yeah, Gary, you sound like you're on Diddy's side in this situation, Gary. So I'd like to ask you a question, Gary. Are you believe that you can get a woman drunk so much where she's so drunk that she can't consent, and you can have sex with her, or give her drugs and she's out of her mind where she can't consent, and it's okay? Let me know, Gary, because you sound like you're on that part of the game. Let me know. Speak on that.
Can I ask a question? Did you listen to the show from the beginning?
Nigga, I just asked you a question. No, I didn't listen to it from the beginning.
So you did not listen to my views about
I just asked you a question.
I'm going to deal with this.
So I need to listen to the show from the beginning to ask you a question?
Excuse me. excuse me, because you have not listened to the show, you already assumed that I'm on PD's side, correct?
I didn't assume shit. I asked you a question.
No,
Answer the question.
so a question means an assumption. Because if you listen to the whole show, you already was.
A question doesn't mean an assumption.
I am not here just for P Diddy. Now, if you've been listening to me for years, you would know my
I ain't
views
been
about.
listening to you for years. You answer the. Do you want to answer the question?
See, no, my stance.
Why you? And like this is
for the record,
some fucking crazy shit.
For the record, listen to me. I don't accept homosexuality. Period. PD is a pokeyman, a homosexual, a screw. What he does, whether it's justified or not, he's gotten what was rightfully deserved to him. Now, regardless to spiking fucking drinks and all stuff, know this. If you're a person going out here and you're not watching what you're doing, you put yourself in a harm's way from any environment, period. This also applies to men. Because men get drugged too and do the same book, get drugged by women too. So the balancing is watch what you do, watch your drink. Because anybody will do something for you. No one's going to have no fucking sympathy for nobody. I don't drink like that. So if you're going to go out there party, there's rules and gauge on how you go out in this environment. Because there's weirdos out here. There's freaks. Hell, there is predators out here that's willing to take advantage of your ignorance and stupidity. So that is my answer to that question. Now, someone else raised their hand. Hello? Who is it?
It's Miss Lady. I've been listening for about 10 minutes. You know, Diddy's been charged. Has numerous charges filed against him. Not just sex trafficking, but kidnapping, arson, bribery, obstruction of justice, assault, probably assault and battery. It's just a list of things. And no one can give consent to engage in any kind of sexual activity if they've been drugged out of their mind to unconsciousness and
see, Gary, this is why I say you a stupid motherfucker, because you muted my line and didn't let me respond to your little bitch ass.
Can you wait? Someone else is speaking right now. You must wait. Raise your hand, please. All right, continue.
Yeah, I think they got froze. Yeah, no, I think you got to go back. Mute me.
Nigga, I can unmute my.
I think you got to mute me so you could get Miss Lady.
Yeah, I don't know which she'll call back. I don't know. So. See, this is why we have orders about this call line, and Tyron should know this shit already. You get me? When people do shows, people supposed to listen. There's any time people cut in. They gotta stop doing that. But go ahead. Where are you, Jay? I hope Miss Lady call back, cause I'm sorry, but
and your bitch ass gonna hang up.
Come on, man. Stop. Raise your hand, man. You can't interrupt the show. Come. All right. Continue, Jay.
Yeah, the stuff that Miss Lady had mentioned is serious. You know, so.
Yeah. I couldn't.
That's why I said it's going to be interesting where it goes, where this is going to go, how far, what's going to be the final, thing.
Yeah. You're right. I'm not sure what's going to happen. Miss Lady, call back so I can hear your side a little bit more, because there was somebody interrupt. So, which one? I think she's back. Let me see if she's back. Hello, Miss Lady? I think that's her.
No.
Okay. All right. Well, yeah. But like I said, Jay, we want to know what's gonna happen to P Diddy in a couple months. You get me?
Yeah, well, a year. Let's give it a year, because they're gonna try to speed up the process. But look, in reality,
I would say
he'll be sitting
no
there.
No greater than 7 months. 7 months, because the feds got hold of this. They're not gonna wait a whole year. They're gonna do this. They're gonna wrap this up within
Nigga, you've been a whole entire hoe.
Come on, man.
I mean,
Yeah,
I
they're gonna
like
wrap
you say 7 months. I give it a year to where they start the whole process. There's gonna be a lot of back and forth. You know, now, you know, them gathering information on both ends, you know, to make their case. And I think that the trial date will be set probably, and I'm just saying, I think it'll be sometime like in July of next year.
I didn't know you was this entire.
Brother.
But yeah, like I think about a year.
Yeah.
Say about a year or so, and some change, and then
I didn't know you was a whole.
A year of the actual trial, you know, taking, you know, process. So I'll say 2 years altogether. We'll know in 2026, 2027 what's going to be.
You are an entire bitch.
We'll leave it there.
All right. Wait. Jay, let me see if the lady called back.
Yeah.
Hello? Did you call back?
Yeah. Hello.
Yes. Go ahead. Yes.
Yeah. Free Howard. Let the black man talk. Free Howard.
All right. If you have no question, let me see if the lady called back because she'd ask questions. Sit tight. All right. Who's this?
Yeah, the call just all of a sudden dropped. I don't know what happened.
No, yeah, because somebody interrupted the show, and I apologize because you were late.
I didn't know you were.
One thing, can I ask you a question, Miss Lady? Because I'm not sure you're still in the East Coast. Because there were many charges on P. Diddy. Did they also charge arson as well?
Yeah, allegedly he bombed up that Cuddy or whatever that rapper Cassie
I heard about that.
Yeah, he said he was going to do it, and then a few weeks later, kaboom! Right at his home.
Guess who stepped in the room?
Interesting. Well, like Jay said, they're going to take a whole year. I said it's going to wrap up in 7 months because if the feds get hold of this, they're not going to push us over a year or two. They move quick because everybody knows the Federal Bureau, once they come get you, they got all the evidence needed to really prosecute in the highest form and put you under the jail. They don't play.
How long did it take for remember Weinstein, the famous movie man, when he was charged with? He's still in prison.
He's in jail. Yeah, I heard a rumor they were going to get him. He's going to get an early release. That's the word because
but how long did it take them to? Well, you know, but Diddy has so many more charges than this man. That Weinstein, he didn't have arson and all that kind of sex trafficking and stuff like that attached to him. So it was a more, I think, straightforward case. This has so many different crimes, and there's now allegedly there's about 50 to 100 people now making complaints against him.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
And I think it's a crime to videotape people.
Keep selling them belts
sexually without their consent, and then put it out there for others to see. I don't know if it ended up on the dark web. I don't know.
Well, Miss Lady, what PD was doing, because he's a freak, he likes to video himself. In his mind, if you participate in any of his parties, he's using all forms of video as a form of evidence or blackmailing. Because that's what I'm assuming why he's recording everybody in his parties. That's why he's doing that.
I'm assuming he was blackmailing them. It's like, if you don't do what I tell you to do, this might get released.
That might be the case. That might be the case too.
Yeah, they want to have control over the person, and so anyway, it was without their consent, and so no, he's just horrible. I was an awful person. Sounds psychopathic to me, and so I just don't have no empathy for him. I really don't. I just
Yeah,
don't.
a lot of people not really feeling sorry for PD because they hear the stories of what he's been doing for decades now, including Jay Z. Because it's Jay Z. Unfortunately, he's gonna be next because he's just as worse. And the one thing worse about him, he's very calculated. You know,
Well, they
I mean,
both
I
have
heard
that
stories.
kind of calculated air, that kind of closed off, like don't get
Hmm.
too close, don't ask me too much, that energy. Do you know what I mean?
Hmm.
Well,
Yeah,
they
yeah, yeah,
want,
yeah.
but especially, yeah, Jay Z has that, like, yeah. But, well, it is what it is. But
Hmm.
I haven't, I don't know if Jay Z was doing all that like Diddy was. I mean, it's allegedly all that baby oil may have had drugs in them, where that so that your skin absorbs all those drugs,
Yeah. I think
and
with
then
JC,
they would go on for days, and then he would have people getting IV fluids so they could rally awake.
Keep on selling them belts, nigga.
yeah, yeah,
I mean, this
yeah.
is so bizarre. It's just absolutely. I don't. You
Mm.
just wouldn't think. I mean, people would go to this extent. It's very degenerate.
Yeah, yeah. But remember, Miss Lady, for to get a certain fame and to get in certain levels, it, they're going to see how far you're going to go, and they got to have some on you. I'm convinced, cause Dame Dash, he's self-made, and he's been telling and saying about this for some time now, that if you're gonna be a person in this society, if you're gonna make your money, it better be the legit, and you're gonna have to go the old-fashioned route. Got to be a high lawyer on the business or some other thing. But going that route, where the people that are not us as on top, they dictate how far you go. And once you go out of line or step out of line, they'll pull the plug. We see it happen to Kanye West, and now we're seeing it happen to P. Diddy. And anybody else that's close to some of these cats, if they're not careful, the plug's going
Well,
to be pulled.
P. Diddy's had a very long run. Unfortunately, it's been way too long. I wish he had been stopped a long time ago. Kanye West hasn't been abusing people that we know of like
Yeah.
this. So it
Yeah.
doesn't matter to me if you're engaging in that kind of abuse of people,
Hmm.
taking away their humanness. It's like they're not even human to you.
Yeah.
Um, Destroying people's lives, and by extension, you destroy people attached to them's lives because
Hmm.
you know their lives can't fit. Friends, you know, um, extended family members that care about them, you have affected as well. So,
Hmm.
no. And how
Okay.
many
All right.
people you have stopped from succeeding in life
I mean,
because
listen,
they've been torn
Miss
down?
Lady is Miss Lady is not just Sean Combs alone. JC also had a hand in stifling a lot of artists that were in the business and kind of shelved them
Well,
for the competition.
I understand, but when it comes to videotaping people and having that over them and destroying their careers,
Hmm.
like
Yeah, yeah.
it's just ridiculous.
Oh
Drugging,
yeah, yeah. It's
videotaping, and destroying their careers. It's too much.
yeah,
I
it's too much.
mean, I'm sure, it doesn't have to be. It could just be a regular job. There are going to be haters on the job. People are going to be competitive. They just don't want to see you succeed. They'll set you up to
Well,
fail. They'll dig holes through. They'll lie on you. All kinds of stuff. That happens often. But
well,
to this extent, and he's been doing this now for 20 years.
I think it's longer than 20 years. I think over 25 years, maybe longer. Okay, he
Mhm.
started this in
Oh,
1994, 30 years. So it's been a while. I would say during the late 90s, he started to really shift to really, do this. But it's hard to keep track when this started. But all I know is, like most people that's in certain levels or higher professions or even running certain corporations, that comes with the territory. You know, if you're a person on your square game, you find ways to keep knocking down competition, and this ain't it. But Miss Lady, I'm probably gonna wrap this up because I think I'm beyond the time. Sit back, all right?
Mhm.
All right, thank you. All right, guys. That's it for today's stream. You know, people called in now, but you know, it's like I said, when we having these discussions and talk about these topics can be problematic, but it has to be said. I didn't want to cover it here, but you know, I decided to say, hell, let's talk about it. You know, links to follow me. Always, you know, follow me on my YouTube channel. Follow me on Discord, and also follow me on Rumble, C-Rain23 on Rumble as well. Thank y'all for listening and watching. And leave a comment too at the end of this as well. Thank you. Take care and good night.